Dear student, once again I am Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad. Welcome you all to this session on the phenols. Today we are going to discuss the last part about the reactions of the phenol. In previous part we have completed with the certain reactions like Fries rearrangement, Kolb reaction, Gattermann reaction, reaction with the benzene diazonium chloride. So these are the few reactions that we have already seen. Today also we are going to see the last part of these reactions of the phenol. Also we are going to discuss about the what are the uses of the phenol. So let's begin with this session. Before proceeding with our session, first let's go through the learning outcomes of this session. After this session, learners will be able to explain chemical properties of the phenol as well as the uses of the phenol. Now, first chemical property that we are going to discuss today is about the reaction with formaldehyde. Formaldehyde means what? HCHO. This is known as the formaldehyde. Now here, when phenol is treated with alkaline solution of the formaldehyde, a mixture of either ortho and para hydroxybenzyl alcohol is formed. If this reaction is carried out at the high temperature and in excess of formaldehyde, hard thermosetting plastic is obtained, which is known as the bakelite. So this bakelite is generally used for the preparation of the polymers. So it is the important starting material is there, that is the used for the preparation of the bakelite, which is a polymer. Now here you can see when phenol is treated with the formaldehyde in the alkaline solution, a mixture of either ortho and para hydroxybenzyl alcohol is formed. Here you can see this hydroxyl group is connected to the carbon atom that is present on the side chain. That's why it is an alcoholic hydroxyl group, and while here this hydroxyl group is directly connected to the aromatic system, that's why it is the phenolic hydroxyl group. So there is a difference between this hydroxyl group and this hydroxyl group. So here there will be formation of ortho and para hydroxybenzyl alcohol will takes place. Now if this reaction is carried out at the higher temperature and in excess amount of the formaldehyde, if it is utilized, this particular compound is converted into the bakelite, and it is a hard thermosetting plastic, which is a polymer. So that's why phenols is generally used for the preparation of the bakelite as a polymer. So this is about the first reaction, that is the reaction with the formaldehyde. Further that, next reaction that we are going to discuss is oxidation. We know oxidation can be considered as the addition of the oxygen, removal of the hydrogen, also loss of the electrons. So here phenol, when undergo the oxidation either with air or the chromic acid. So this chromic acid, that is the CrO3, is used as a oxidizing agent. Now oxidizing agent will carry out the oxidation of the your compound, that is the phenol. They itself undergo the reduction and they will carry out the oxidation of the compound. So phenol, when undergo the oxidation in presence of the chromium trioxide as the oxidizing agent, it will be converted into the parabenzoquinone. Now here we can divide this particular word into two halves, that is the one is benzo and other one is the quinone. When a ketonic functional group, if two ketonic functional groups, if they are attached to the aromatic ring, then that particular compound is known as the quinone. Here you can see this is the one ketone functional group, this is your other ketone functional group. They are directly linked to the aromatic system, that is the benzene ring, so that it is known as the quinone. And why this is parabenzoquinone? Because these two ketonic functional groups are present para to each other. That's why it is known as the para-benzoquinone. If these two ketonic functional groups, if they are present ortho to each other, then it is known as the orthobenzoquinone. Likewise, here there will be formation of para-benzoquinone will takes place. So phenol on oxidation with either air or the chromic acid, it will be converted into the para-benzoquinone. So this is about the second reaction, that is the oxidation. Then last reaction that we are going to discuss is catalytic hydrogenation. Now, what is the meaning of catalytic hydrogenation? When a vapor of the phenol and hydrogen is passed over the nickel at 160 degrees Celsius, it undergoes the catalytic hydrogenation to form the cyclohexanol. So catalytic hydrogenation is nothing but the addition of the hydrogen. We know that when 1 mole of hydrogen is added to any unsaturated compound, it will carry out the conversion of one double bond, that is the unsaturated structure, into the your single bond, that is the saturated structure is formed. So that the whatever the unsaturated part is there, that will be converted into the saturated part by using the catalytic hydrogenation. So as you see in this structure of the phenol, there is a presence of how many double bonds? Yes, obviously it's a 3. So you will require 3 moles of hydrogen to carry out the conversion of these 3 unsaturated double bonds into the single bond. So in this way, this phenol, which is an unsaturated compound, is converted into the cyclohexanol, which is a saturated compound. Generally, catalytic hydrogenation is nothing but the reduction, but it is carried out in presence of the different catalyst. The catalyst used includes a metal ions, say for example nickel, platinum, zinc, iron. So they are mainly used as a catalyst to perform the catalytic hydrogenation. So this is about the how the reduction of the phenol is carried out. That is the by using a nickel at 160 degrees Celsius, phenol vapors are when they are passed with the hydrogen, it will be converted into the cyclohexanol. Cyclohexanol, when it is partially, it is nothing but the starting material that is mainly used for the synthesis of some polymers. So indirectly you can say that phenols can be used as a starting materials to carry out the synthesis of the different polymers. In detail we will discuss that in the part of the uses. So these are the various reactions of the phenol, where we have seen totally 18 reactions. Few of them were including electrophilic substitution reaction, then 3 different name reactions, that is the Kolb reaction, Gattermann reaction, as well as the Remertiman formylation. And after that we have seen certain reactions with the formaldehyde, benzene diazonium chloride, then this catalytic hydrogenation and oxidation. So that's all about the reactions of the phenol. Now next part that we are going to discuss is uses of the phenol. Now the major use of the phenol is for consuming 2/3 of its production involves its conversion to the different precursors that are used for the synthesis of the plastics. In previous reaction also I have told you that the phenol is converted into the cyclohexanol. This cyclohexanol mainly used as a starting material for the production of the different polymers. These polymers includes the plastics. So whatever the phenol that is to be manufactured, out of that 2/3 of its production, 2/3 of total production is used for the synthesis of different plastics. So this is the main use of the phenol. Also condensation of the phenol with acetone gives a bisphenol. Now this is a key precursor that is used for the synthesis of polycarbonates and the epoxide resins. these polycarbonates and epoxide resins are also nothing but the polymers. They are having different uses, and for the synthesis of these polycarbonates as well as the epoxide resins, they are generally, phenol is generally utilized. Further, next use is condensation of phenol, alkyl phenols or the diphenols with formaldehyde gives phenolic resins. Now already we have seen a famous example is bakelite, and this particular bakelite is nothing but the polymer which can be known as the thermosetting plastic. For that purpose this phenol is used. Also, partial hydrogenation of phenol gives cyclohexanone. Now we have seen the complete hydrogenation of the phenol where we are getting the cyclohexanol, that is the alcoholic functional group is attached to the cyclohexane, and here this compound is different. If we carry out the partial hydrogenation, we will get the cyclohexanone, where this ONE means a ketone. Cyclohexane with ketone is known as the cyclohexanone, and this is the famous precursor is there which is used for the synthesis of the nylon. And we know great use of the nylon. It is used as a fiber which is having a high tensile strength as compared to the cotton fiber. That's why this synthetic fiber, that is the nylon, is having various different uses due to its strength, greater strength as compared to the cotton. So this is about the partial hydrogenation of the phenol. Next use of the phenol is also versatile precursor to the large collection of the drugs. Most notable example is aspirin. Now we know aspirin is known as the acetyl salicylic acid, which is having multiple uses as a antiplatelet aggregation. Then it can be used as a antipyretic, anti-inflammatory. So these are the various uses of the aspirin are there, and the synthesis of aspirin involves the use of the precursor or the starting material as a phenol. Also, many herbicides, different pharmaceutical drugs along with this aspirin, the phenol is used as a precursor to carry out the synthesis of the different drugs as well as the different herbicides and pesticides. This is the most common use in the pharmaceutical industry. Also, phenol is a component of the liquid phenol chloroform extraction technique, and now this technique is used in the molecular biology for carrying out the separation of nucleic acids from the tissues or the cell culture sample. This is also another important application in the molecular biology, where if we have to carry out the separation of the nucleic acids, say for example DNA and RNA from the tissues and the cell culture, whatever the chloroform phenol extraction technique is there, for that purpose phenol is a component of that particular solvent system used for the extraction technique. So this is the another important use of the phenol is there. Also, depending upon the pH of the solution, either DNA or RNA can be extracted. Means if we want to extract either DNA or the RNA, we have to change the pH of the solution, and that pH of the solution can be changed by using various concentrations of the phenol. So this is about the another use of the phenol. Then the last use of the phenol is phenol once was widely used as antiseptic. Actually this use was pioneered by a great scientist, that is Joseph Lister, but now phenol is not used as antiseptic because due to its irritating properties. So in earlier days when it was invented, it was used as a antiseptic in the low concentration, but cresol now generally also used as antiseptic, which is also derivative of the phenol. So this is about the uses of the phenol. So here we have completed with this part of the phenols. Now you have to use this particular website testmos.com with this particular link. Go to this website and you have to solve the answer question